Hello there and welcome back again to another video. So today we are going to learn about Python collections. So what is collections? When there is a requirement to treat some data as a group, we can use collection data types. Okay. So we have already seen one of data types of collection, which is a string. So anything enclosed in a single or double quote is considered as a string, and string is a immutable data type, which means you cannot change once you create it. Okay. So let's take one of the example of a string. So let's say I have a PAN number. Okay. I'll just take some random number. Let's say EGPD 4534. Okay. So this is my PAN number where you can see it is a combination of alphabets, number, and everything, right? So in this case, we can use a string. Okay. And how string works is like it is linked as an index. Okay. So index 0 will be your first character, which is E. Then you have index 1, which will be a character G. Okay, so all the characters in a string are linked as an index. Okay, so index 2 will be P and so on. Okay, so this is how it works. So E will be 0, G1, P 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is how it will work. So let's take another example of a string. So let's say I have a test ID equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, any random number 1, 2, 4, 5, 3, 4, 2. Okay, something like that. Okay, so this is also a string. Then I can have a name. Let's say Prasad. Okay, so this could also be a example of a string. Then last name could also be a example of a string. Okay, so these are a few examples of a string. And when we learn a collections, we also have some built-in functions of strings in Python. Okay, so let's learn about that. So let's say built-in functions of string in Python. All right, okay. So first of all, I'll just take this example as a name. Okay, I want to find out how many characters are there. What is the length of this string? Okay, so what I can do is I can use len function. Okay, and inside len I just need to give a string, and if I print it, okay, if I run that program, it gives me a 6. So if you see, Prasad has a 6 characters in this string, right? So this is how I can find the length of a string. Next one, let's say I have a 2 strings, name and last name, right? And I want to merge these 2 strings, right? So what I can do is I can just type in name plus some space, okay, plus last name. Okay, now if I print it, as you can see, the result has been concatenated. Okay, so this is how you can concatenate strings with the plus operator. Okay, so name plus space plus last name. Okay, so concatenation, this is how you can do in a Python. Then you also have a count. Okay, suppose I want to count how many A are in my name string. Okay, so this is how we can count. So if I rerun, so there are 2 A's, right, in Prasad here, PRA and S here. So 2 A's will be there. So this is how you can count a specific characters in a string. What if I want to replace some characters with another character, right? So that I also can do. So what I can do is name dot replace. I'll give the character I want to replace. So small a I want to replace in a name with capital. Okay, and if I run this program, as you can see, the small a has been replaced with the capital A. So this is how you can replace some characters in a string. Okay. Next one, as I said that string is immutable, right? So let's take that example as well. So if I just print a name, okay, so my original string was Prasad, right? But here what I have done is concatenation, this the replace is right? So replace will not replace the actual name. That is what we call a immutability. So if I print the name again, the original string stays at it, even though I have replaced the characters in above line, right? So this will not change. Now my name will never change. Okay, string is a immutable data type. Okay. Now, what if I want to find, I want to check like, so I'll just, okay, so here what we get to know, like strings are immutable. So original string name is as it is. Okay. So this is just a note to take. String is a immutable data type. What if I want to find out like how many characters small a are in my name? Okay, so I can do with the find function, and there are 2 characters. Okay, so find a, so count will give count and find somewhat similar. Okay, here I'll just give some other name, like let's say I give an r. Okay, so it will give me -1 because r is not, the capital R is not present in my name. Okay, so this is how find works. What if I given a capital R here? Okay, so here I get a 0. Okay, so this is a difference. In a count you get a 0, or you get a count of actual number of characters present in that string. But here if the in find, if the character is not there, it will return you a -1. Okay, so this is a difference between count and find. Let's check if name starts with character PR. Okay, so Prasad starts with PR, so it will give me a boolean value as a true. Okay, let's take another example of a starts with. Let's say I don't have a character which starts with, let's say CR. Okay, and if I rerun, it will return me a false. Okay, so if it is present, it starts with the PR, it will return me a 2. If it starts with that I have given is not start with that, it will print a false. So let's take next example. I can also check name ends with. Okay, so ends with, I'll have to give something like, let's say AD, and then so AD, because AD my name is ends with AD, right? So it will give me a true value. If I give something else which is not ending with, so this will give me a false. Okay, so I'll just print it one more statement here for your reference. So if I give ADD and rerun, it's supposed to give me a false. Okay, as you can see, false. The return value is false from this function. Let's check if my name is a digit. Okay, this is false, right? But we also had a one more number, right? Number or test ID was there, right? Let's check. Here some number of combinations of number along with the characters, and here purely it is a number, right? So let's check both the examples. What is the result we get when we choose is digit function? So what I'll do is I'll start with PAN number, and I'll check if PAN number is a digit. Okay, so this is also false. So even though it has a combination of number. Okay, so is digit function will return you to only when your the whole string is a number. Okay, so now let's check with the is text ID dot is digit, and that will give me a 2 value. Okay, now what if I want to convert my name into the uppercase, right? So what I can do is name dot upper. Okay, and just rerun. So here you can see all the characters were converted into the upper. Okay, although original string has not changed because that is a immutable data type. I can do lower as well, name dot lower. Okay, and rerun. So all characters has been converted to a lower characters, including the start. Okay, now I can split my string as well. Okay, so how you can split? Just call your string dot split function. Okay, and you have to give a character on one basis you need to split. So I'm just giving as A and running this program. So as you can see, PRA, A is this is my separator. Okay, split. So this my name has been splitted based on the separator. So it has separated all the characters based on the A. So I get PR, S, and D. Okay, here as a result. So this is how I can split. I can also slice a string. So how can I slice? So name, and in bracket what I can give as a 3 and 6. Okay, so starts with the third index, I end with the sixth index, okay, of that character. So this is how can I get a substring or a slice string on the original string. Okay, so here I'm slicing from first character to range, not a first, but in this will be start from first, so here it will start from a third. Okay, so as you can see, SAD as a result. Okay, and you see here, so 0, 1, 2, and 3, it start with 3 and end with 6, right? So these 3 to 6 character I have sliced from the name. Okay, what if I want to give a range from a reverse order? Okay, I can do that as well. So what I can do is I can give -3. So from, okay, so this is how it works. From the start it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, but from the last it is like -1, -2, -3, -4, minus, right, and so on. Okay, so from -3 I want a string till 6. Okay, so this will be like slicing from slicing from first, but slicing from last, but first reverse character to range. Okay, so if I rerun program, I supposed to get the same string. Okay, so what is mean by from last? So from last, like -3 here, right? -1, -2, -3. Okay, from last it will from my first character. So -3 will be my first character, and whatever range I have given, like 6, it actually slice that string. Okay, so this also I can do. And now what if I want to iterate through the string, right? So how I can add iterate? So let's take that example. So iterate through string using range. Okay, range we have already seen in for our 2 lectures. So I'll just go with the for loop for character in range. So I'll start with the 0 index. And how can I get a length of a string? With the length function, right? So I want to go from 0 to the length of a string. I'll just start with for loop with a column, and then I'll print name of character, whatever characters I get from the name, right? All right, let's run this program again. And as you can see, I can iterate through the string using for and range, right? So I get a individual characters like this. I can also do one more thing with a keyword. So let's take that example. So I'm going to iterate through a string using keyword. Okay, and how can I do that? Again, I'm using a for loop for character in name. Okay, earlier I was using a range. Here I can directly use a string. So what are characters available in name? Okay, I can directly print those characters. So this is the simplest one. Okay, let's rerun that program. And as you can see, I iterate through string using keyword. I get the same results. Okay, so let's move on to next. Okay, so we have one more uh, features, Picard, which is called a f string. And if you remember my functions, right? So here we have used a f string, and in my last video I said that we will be looking into this further when we are using a collections. Okay, so let's start with the f string. So what is f string? Here what you can do is like you can embed Python expressions, okay, inside string. Okay, expression, yes. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, let's say I have given it as a print, right? Print f and one string. Okay, so let's say username is, and you can write expression. This is in a curly braces. Okay, in curly braces, I can give a Python expression. Let's say I want to print a name. All right. So if I run this program, I get my name string replaced with this expression. Okay, the actual value replaced within this expression. Okay, so this is a very powerful feature, new feature in our Python. I'll just give one more example of expression. Let's say you have a variable. Let's say num1 equals to 5. Okay, and I want to find the square root of this number. So usually what I would do, square of a number, I'll just declare one more number, one more variable, and I'll just multiply num1 into num1. Okay, this is what I call a expression, right? Where I'm doing some calculation here. Okay, and I'm assigning back this value to this square number. Okay, and then I can go ahead print square number. Okay, this number. So this was a traditional way. Okay, so instead what I can do is I'll just comment this expression, comment out this expression, and instead I can use a string. So f, and here I can write, let's say, square of num1 is, and here I can do the same expression which I have written above. So num1 into num1. Okay. So now this expression will be evaluated by Python, and that while the actual value will be replaced here. Okay. So square of a num is 25. Okay. So this is a very powerful feature. You can use if you want to if you want to format your string with the expression. This is how you can do, and you can also refer this one as well. Here I have used f function in my last video, where I have used the expression and I've given a k-vals value here inside. Okay, so this is now we have covered. We also have one more feature of a string. Let's say R string. Okay, so this is basically useful when you have some kind of path you need to copy, right? So this is what we call a raw string, where print function will print whatever inside that as it is. Okay, so it will not do their inside processing. So for example, I want to get some some path. Let's say if I open my Explorer, okay, I went to the downloads, let's say, and maybe I can just go here. Okay, copy this part, close this, and give this part here. Okay, so as you can see, here are some slashes, right? So some escape characters, some sequences, right, which I don't want to escape by default by the Python. So what I can do, I just rerun the program, and as you can see, whatever inside that R string has been printed as it is. So this is how you tell Python that this is a raw string. I want to be printed as it is. Okay. So let's take one more example. Even if I give, sometimes you have path something like this. Okay. All right. And if I print, as you can see, I get the same result. Okay. Whatever I have given in the print statement, I don't get any processing with these slashes. I get as it is. Okay. So this is very useful when you have to print the pre-processed string on these kind of paths. Okay. So F string and R string, these are very powerful features in the Python. Okay, so I think we have covered most of the built-in functions that is being used on your daily basis of a string. So let's move on to a new collection data type, which is called a tuple. Okay. So tuple basically when you use, okay, when you have mandatory data that you do not want to change. Okay, that you do not want to change. So then you can use a tuple. Okay, so it is also mutable. It's immutable. Okay, same like string. Okay, so let's check a tuple example first. Okay, let's say I have a day of a week equals to, and how can I use a tuple? So I have to use this bracket. Okay, square but square bracket. Okay, the simple bracket. Inside that I have to give a values. So let's say I will just give a Sunday then Monday separated by a comma. Okay, Sunday, Monday, then I have a Tuesday. Okay, just ignore the spellings. Okay, typo error if I have any. So Wednesday, then Thursday, then Friday, and then we have a Saturday. So these values, these are fixed values, right? As I said, when you want to use a mandatory data and you don't want to change these values, right? This will never change throughout your program, but you can use it. Okay, and Saturday. Okay, so this is how you can actually create a tuple. Um, I think these brackets are not mandatory, but this is a good practice you would see in most of the Python programs that you are working on. So I'll just keep a note of here that these brackets are optional. Okay. Well, let's try out this example without brackets. So what I can do, I'll just create one more variable. Let's call it as a day of week 1. Okay, and I'll try to remove this. Okay, and you can see I still don't get error. So these brackets are optional, but this is a good practice that someone understand this is a tuple. Okay, so just follow that practice. And let's say, what if my tuple has a single value, right? So if with single value, okay, then include comma. Okay, you need to include a comma so that it's a single. Okay, if tuple with a single value, then include cop. Okay, so let's take that example as well. Let's say single element equals to p. Okay, and you have to give a comma so that I can understand this is a tuple, not a string. Okay, if I remove the comma, then this will be um, considered as a string. Okay, so that's how you make a difference between a single element of a tuple. So let's take another example. So okay, so this is how I can do, but okay, just make a practice of it, like include that into the bracket so that there will be no confusion. So I can do like p and comma. Okay, so this is how I can create a tuple. Let's print a tuple and see how we get the results. So I'm going to print a day of week. Okay, I get these values. Okay, along with the bracket. Now here I had not included bracket here, right? Let's print this as well and see. Still I get the bracket, right? And that's why these brackets are optional. Okay, this we use for a standard practice only, and even you have not included a bracket, in the print result you see these were included into the bracket itself. Okay, and what if I print? Let's print by single element as well. Okay, so here comma is included, that null empty value is there, right? So that's how you actually tell Python that this is a single element of a tuple. Okay, so yeah, that's all about tuple. Okay, it's very simple when you don't want to change your data throughout the program, and this is the mandatory data that you want to give to someone, right? So let's move on to a next data type, which is a list. Okay, let's give. Okay, so list, now this is a mutable data type. Okay, there is a difference. When you have a requirement, okay, of a mutable data type, then you use a list. Okay, and I'll just keep a note of here. Use when requirement is to modify data based as per situation. Okay, and this is when you use a list. Okay, so let's take a list example. So let's say I have a hall ticket number. Okay, and you actually create a list with these curly braces. Okay, so I can give any number, let's say 1243. This is a one of the hall ticket number. Then I can do 4536, any random number. Then I have another hall ticket 8675. I can go with one more like 8224. Okay, so this is how you create a list. Okay, uh, like a string elements in the list are also linked to the indexes only. Okay, so here this first element will be linked to the 0 index. Okay, so I'll just keep a note of it like string elements in list are linked to indexes. Okay, so what does that mean? Index 0 will be my first value 1 2 3 4. Okay, then index 1 will be my second value 4 5 3 6. Okay, and so on. Similar to the string, only difference is in string the characters are linked, here the actual values are linked as a index. Okay, now how can I create an empty list? Okay, let's take that, create empty list. Okay, so let's say I say initial list. Okay, I want to create an initial list with no values, then I can use a square bracket. Okay, for creating an empty list. I can also create, let's say initial, wait, I have some typo error, initial, okay, initial list 1 equals to, I can directly call a list function. Okay, this is also I can get an empty list. Now what if I print this? Okay, what kind of result I get? Let's see that. First I'll print hall ticket numbers. Okay, then I'll print the empty list. Okay, then I can print the empty list 1, initial list 1, and see the results first. Okay, so here the hall ticket numbers you see with these curly braces, empty list are being printed as a square bracket. Okay, so this is how you get the results of an empty list. Okay, so let's move on with the initial values, how you can give initial values. Right here I have given initial values already, but there are two types of list. One is a heterogeneous list and another is a homogeneous list. Okay, so let's say you have a requirement to create list with initial values. Okay, and let's start with first heterogeneous. Okay, heterogeneous list. So here in the heterogeneous list, so elements, okay, with different data types. Elements are with different data types. And let's take that example. So let's say initial list, I'll just append something, value equals to, what I can do is can do 1. Okay, so here I have used a square bracket. Okay, so either you can use a curly braces or you can also use a square bracket, no matter. Okay, so list supports both. So let's say 1 is Prasad, 2, then I have third value, let's say Ketan. Okay, so these are just the names of a people. Okay, and any random numbers. Okay, so 3 Yogesh, then 4 Rohan. Okay, then 5 Saurabh. Okay, so this is how I can create an initial list values. Okay, so I just given a number combination of different data types. So here this is a numeric and this is numeric string, numeric string, numeric strings. Okay, that's why this kind of list called as a heterogeneous, where data types are not similar. Okay, let's print these values, initial list values. Okay. Okay, as you can see, I get the same results. Okay. So this is also supported. Heterogeneous list is supported in a Python. Now let's take an example of a homogeneous list. Homogeneous list. So here the elements are with same data type. Okay. And let's take one more example. So what I can do is I'll just copy, give it as a variable name as a 1. Okay. And here what I'm going to do, I'll just copy this again and I'm going to remove the numbers from it. Okay. I'm going to remove the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So all data types are the string here, right? And that's why this is called as a homogeneous list. Okay. I'll also print this and list values 1. Okay. So as you can see, all the names in the list are of a same data type. So this is a difference, like how you can differentiate your list, either heterogeneous or a homogeneous. Okay. Now what if I want to find out length of this string, right? So list also have some built-in functions in a Python. Let's take that. I want to print length of my initial list values, and let's check that. So that is 10, right? I have a 10 elements here in a list, and also print length of initial list values 1. So I have 5 elements here, right? So I get a 5. Okay. So length is one of the list function that you should know. What if you don't know the list, you know the list size, but you don't know the elements in advance, right? So then how we can create a list? Okay. So let's take that example. So list with known size but unknown elements. Okay. So how can I create that? So let's define one more list. Size list equals to, what I can do is I can give a none into 10. All right. And let's print this size list. Okay. So what I have done here, I have given a non keyword as my unknown elements, and I already know that they need a list of a 10 size, right? So I just multiplied. So this is how you can do a list with known size but unknown elements. Okay, now how can I access the list elements, right? That you also need to know. So access list elements. I'll just print, and let's say in the initial list values 1, okay, I want to access second index. Okay, so second index I have to give in a square bracket. Let's rerun. So this is giving me a Yogesh, because this 0 is Prasad, 1 and 2, right? So 2 I get as a Yogesh. So this is how you can access your list. Okay. What if I want to write? I mean, I want to write something into the list elements. So write into list elements. Okay. So let's say here I have a Yogesh, right? So I want to write down that with something else. So I want to change Yogesh name to a Ganesh. Okay. And let's print this as well. Let's print the second value in the list. Also print the entire list itself. Okay. And see the difference. So Yogesh name has been changed with Ganesh, right? And as you can see in the list, it has been replaced with the Ganesh. So this is how you can write into the list elements. Okay. And then you can also append into the list, right? So let's say I want to add some more values into the list after the initial creation. And how I can do that? I'll just give initial list values 1 dot append, and I want to append Yogesh value again into the list. Okay, so let's print that list again just to see the results, how the append works. Okay, so as you can see here, the initial Yogesh value was replaced with the Ganesh, but then I again appended Yogesh in the list, and when you append this, these gates appended at the last. Okay, let's check one more example. Sorry, not one more example. Let's check list index function. Okay, how it works. So let's print initial list values dot index, and in the index I'll have to give some values. Let's say randomly I'm giving a Rohan. I want to know like what is the index of the value Rohan, right? So the Rohan's like 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 has been given me as a index value. As you can already see, right, the list is a mutable data type. That my original list is getting appended here. My when I write into the values, right, this getting changed. So list is a mutable data type. So yeah, this is all about a list index function. What if I want to put some values at a specific position, right? That I also I can do. So let's say insert element at specific position. Okay, position. So let's take another example. Initial list value 1 dot insert. Okay, I want to insert at third, and value will be like Mayur. Okay, and let's print the values just to see the results. I'll rerun the program. As you can see, Prasad, Ketan, Ganesh. So 0, 1, 2, and at third position that Mayur has been inserted, right? So you can insert at a specific position with the insert function. Now what I want to remove something from the list, right? So let's say remove element from list. Okay, so I'll just take that example again. Initial list values 1 dot pop. Okay, so pop will remove. What I want to remove is second index. Okay, so Ganesh, I'm going to remove it from this list. Okay, so I'll just make a note of it. Pop works with index. Okay, so this is index. Actually, I'm giving the in which index I want to remove, and I'm going to print this list again here just to see the results. As you can see, that second index value has been removed from my list. Okay, now I want to remove with the value as well, right? So you can do that. So let's say remove element with value. Okay, so I can do initial list value 1 dot remove. Here I need to use instead of pop, and in the remove I can give a value. Okay, but this is wherever you get a first instance, only that value works with the value. Okay, so this is, I mean, you need to be very sure. Instead, if you know the index, you go with the index instead of a values. Okay, so this is very risky operation because this will remove only first instance, right? Works with value, and I'm going to print this again. And as you can see, your value has also been removed from my list. Okay, so this is what we have seen. We have removed the list. What if I want to sort my list alphabetically or in any order? Okay, so order will not see in these lectures. That is something we'll check it later on when we get to the examples. But here, whatever is the default order, I can sort it, right? So I'm just going to sort this list, and I'm going to print my list again and rerun it. So as you can see, the earlier list has been sorted alphabetically. So here, as you can see, Ketan, Prasad, Rohan, Saurabh, okay, this has been sorted alphabetically. What if I want to sort in a reverse order, right, from Z to A? So that I also, let's say, I'll just reverse the list. Initial list values dot reverse. Okay, and let's print our list again to see the results. As you already thought that it is now sorted in a reverse order. Yogesh, Saurabh, Rohan, Prasad, Kit. Okay. Now similar to the string, right? We can also slice the list. Okay. Let's check that. Slicing the list. And let's create one more list. Let's say small list equals to, so initial list values 1, and in the bracket I can give the range from start to end. So 0 to 4 I want to slice 4, right? So here this 4 is end range. Okay, so here 0 to 3 index will be considered. Okay, so small list I have sliced it from the initial list values, and let's print a small list now. Okay, run it, and as you can see from this list, okay, I've sliced from 0 to 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So till Prasad I have sliced the list and assigned to a small list. Okay, so this is how the slicing works. I can do from the reverse indexing as well, similar to the string, as we have already seen this example. Let's create one more example, small list 1. From the list values 1, what I can do is from -4 to -2. Okay, this is also I can do. So let's print small list 1 and check the results. So from so this was the list I'm referring. Okay, so Saurabh, right? Saurabh, this is -4. So -1, 2, 3, 4. From Saurabh, right, I've given as a -2. So -1, 2. So -2 will be the end range, and that's why it has we have come up with only 2 values. Okay, so -2 will be excluded here. All right. Okay, so this is how we can do a slicing. What if I want to concatenate two lists? That I can also do, but unlike sorry, not unlike string, like a string, I can concatenate the list as well. So let's concatenate two list, and let's name it as a new list equals to initial list values plus initial list values 1. Okay, so I have merged two lists here, and I want to print a new list just to tell the results. And as you can see, my initial list values I have given as a heterogeneous list here, and plus my new list values, right, both has been merged here. Okay, so this is also we can do. I'm just going to go ahead next. You can iterate. Okay, how you can iterating the list. So iterate the list. So again, I'm going to use with a range and index, and then I'll be showing you with the list values. So first check using range and index, and I'm going to use for loop for index in range. Okay, so as you are already aware that index starts with 0, and I can get length of a string with the length function. So I'm just checking this example, initial list values 1. I'm going to open my for loop with colon, and with the indentation I'm going to print initial list values of the index. Okay, so index, which are index, I'm taking it from the range and using it in the bracket. Okay, let's run the program, and as you can see, the individual indexes from my this name list, this list, right, has been printed here one by one. I can do with values as well. So let's take that example. So using direct list values. Okay. Again, I'm going to open a for loop and just to make sure you get a clear vision, I'm going to print a line, simple line here, and then I'm going to show you a for loop. Okay. So for named in initial list values 1, I'm going to open my for loop with colon, and then printing whatever name I get, whatever values I get from the initial list values, I am going to print here. So let's run it. As you can see, after this line, I get all the individual elements like this. Okay. So yeah, pretty simple as you can see. And this is how you can iterate through a list. Okay. So I think I have covered most of the list operations that you need in a daily life. Okay, while writing the program. Let's move on to a new data type, which is called a set. Set. Okay. So again, set is also a mutable data type. Okay. What is the difference between set and list? Set is unique. It consists only unique values. Okay. Consists only unique values. So whenever you have a requirement to have a database which is supposed to be a mutable, but you need only a unique values, then you use a set. So let's check how you can create a set examples. Let's say I have created a variable name, and in the curly braces, I'm just going to do apple, then oranges, orange, and let's say grape. Okay. So this is how I can create a set. Let's print it out with the variable name fruits and see the results. Okay, so this is my set. How you can create an empty set? Okay, so let's take that empty. So I'll just give it name as empty fruits equals to set. With the set function you can do. Okay, this is how you can create a empty set, and let's print it out. So it will give me as a set, the empty set as a result. Okay, so this is how you can create an empty set. We have a built-in functions on a set as well in a Python. So let's check that as well. Set functions equals to, let's check how we can add, let's say add an element into set if not present. Okay, so what is mean by that? Okay, so let's say I already created one of the set quotes. I want to add a value which is not there. Okay, so I'm going to add banana there. Okay, and what if I try to add the element which is already there, right? So let's try to add apple again. Okay, and let's see what happens. Okay, by printing this set, I'm going to print so again. So as you can see, my initial set was apple, orange, grapes. I have added banana here. Okay, so banana got added, but when I try to add apple again, it will not add the banana apple again into the set, because set consists only unique values. Okay, so that is the property you need to remember when you need to use a set. Okay, now what if I want to remove an element from the set, right? So I can use a discard. So discard function will remove an element from the set if it is present. Okay, so let's remove something from the fruits. So fruits dot discard the banana. Okay, and print the fruits again, fruits, and rerun the program. As you can see that banana has been removed with the discard function. Okay, and if it is proven, then only it will discard. Now let's check with a pop example. So pop removes and return. Okay, random element. Will get error if set is empty. Okay, if set is empty, so you need to be make sure that when you are using a pop, there has to be some elements. Okay, so fruits dot pop. Okay, so I remember like which element will get popped here. Okay, and whichever element has been popped, it's very random. Okay, so I'm going to print those again. So as you can see from the apple orange grapes, it removed the apple. Okay, so this is very random. You might get a removed orange or grapes as well. Okay, so pop, be very careful when you are using it. Now let's take a clear function. So clear removes all elements from these sets. Okay, and if I do a fruits dot clear, it will remove everything. Let's print that. Print my fruits again. So here, as you can see, you get this empty set because everything has been removed from the set. Okay, you can do a union as well. So union basically returns union of two sets as a new set. Okay, so let's take that example. So again, I'm going to use fruits. I'm going to add again well, then I'm going to add one more element. Let's say banana. All right. Sorry, here there is a typo error. Okay, fruits dot banana. Fruits dot add banana. Then I'm going to create one more set. Let's say vegetables equals to. Let's create one more set. Tomato. Then we can have a potato. Okay, and let's print fruits first. Then what we can do is print vegetable as well. So vegetables I'm going to print, and then I'm going to create a new set. Okay, so new set will be like fruits dot union, and I have to give a second set name. Okay, so vegetable. So fruits and making a union of fruits and vegetables as a new set. So let's print it out new set as well, or new set, and run our program. So as you can see, my fruits set was banana, apple, vegetables was potato, tomato, and here as a union, I get both values, okay, in the new set from both the sets. Okay, so this is how a union works. All right, we can have an intersection as well. Okay, so let's check intersection. So intersection will returns common elements. Okay, so common elements from two sets as a new set. Okay, so let's create one more set. I'll just say new set 1 equals to fruits dot intersection vegetables. Okay, and let's print it out to see the results. New set 1. Okay, so I get empty set because there is nothing common, right, between these two. So intersection will give you only a common values. Okay, then we have difference as well, like what is the difference between these two sets, right? So difference will returns elements present in first set but not in second. Okay. Let's create one more set. New set, new set 2 equals to fruits that difference vegetables. Okay, and print it out this set as well, just to see results. So new set 2 will be like first set, what are values available in the first set and which are not available in two sets. So these are the values which are not available in second set. Let's say another example. We have a symmetric difference as well. So symmetric difference. Now this will return this will return elements which are unique in both sets. Okay, so let's create one more example. New set 3 equals to fruits that symmetric difference vegetables. Okay, and let's print it out new set as well. Print it out new set 3. I want to print and see the results. So as you can see, all the 4 elements here taken note, but the sets. Okay, so that's about the set. Okay, very useful when you want to work with the unique values. Okay, when you have a requirement. So let's move on to very last collection, which is a dictionary. I'll just give some more enters. Okay, so dictionary. Now dictionary is also a mutable thing. Okay, and what is a dictionary? So a dictionary, maybe I'll just copy something. So dictionaries in Python is a collection of key value pairs. Okay, and keys are unique here and values can be duplicated. Okay, so this kind of a data type, we call it as a dictionary. So let's see how we can create a dictionary. So create a dictionary in Python. Dictionary, where let's say I have a variable called person. Okay, and I'll just open a curly braces. Here I have to give a key and values. Okay, so my key will be like name and value will be Prasad. Okay, then you do a with separation with the comma. Okay, similar to the JSON. Okay, if you are aware of a JSON, then I have age as a key and value will be a my actual age value. Then again you separate things with a comma. Then you have a city, and then you again give a value. So here I'm going to give a Pune, again separated by a comma. Let's take a boolean value as well, like each student. So I'm going to give a value as a false. Okay, sorry, not the small false. If has to be capital here, the false. This is how you can create a dictionary. Okay, now if you want to access a dictionary, you can do it. Access values. How you can access values from the dictionary? So first let me print these dictionary person and see how we get the results, right? So this is how you get a result, key value pair as a key value pairs. Okay, now if I want to access person name only, right? So I have to give a index here, but in a quote, sorry, not just index, I have to give it in a quote. So let's print that out, and as I can see, I get a Prasad. Whenever I give a key, I get its value. Okay, then again print, I can use a person. That get function is also there. Okay, so with the get, again I have to give a key value. So I want to get a city of that person. and I can get a Pune. So this is, we have already seen a functions, right? So here I have used a dictionary name, all this when I was explaining a keywords in a function, right? So, and I said that this we will cover in a next lesson, right? So, but the thing, right, print app function and all the dictionary thing I have already covered here, okay, as well as the list. So now you are all are aware of what is a mutability, immutable data type, dictionary, all these things. So yeah, we have seen the access values. Now, what if I want to add a value into a dictionary, right? So let's add a value into a dictionary. What I can do directly, I can use a person with a key and value, right? So what I can do is I will just add a country here and I'll give a value of a country, let's say India. Okay, let's print a person again, run the program, and as you can see, country India, this key value has been added here itself. What if I want to update a value, right? Update a value. Okay, so I can do that as well. So let's say I want to add city, okay, of that person equals to from Pune to Mumbai. Okay, let's say let's print that thing again. So as you can see, city has been updated from city value has been updated from Pune to Mumbai. Okay. Now what if I want to delete something from that dictionary, right? So I can delete value with keyword del. Okay. So I want to delete person and then I have to give a key value. Okay. Value, sorry, key only. It's supposed to be in small letter. Okay, let's print it that out. And as you can see, city has gone from the dictionary. Okay, and what is the last thing? If I were to check if the key exists or not, right? How you can do? So let's check if a key exists in my dictionary, right? And how can I do? I can do with if. I'll just give a name as a key in person. Okay, so and printed that out. Okay, so name is person name. Okay, so this is how can I check whether that key exists in my dictionary or not. So this is name is existed here, right? Name is person. That's why this code, this if loop code has been executed. And very last thing I want to show, like how you can iterate to dictionary. Okay, so this is very simple. What you need to do is you need to give a key as well as value, okay, in person dot items. Okay, this is how you can iterate through a dictionary. So items is the function that you need to use, and let's print it out. Key, comma, then something called colon, and then again value. Okay, let's print it out, and as you can see, everything, sorry, after this name, all key values has been printed as per my this format. Okay, what is here? Dictionary spelling, I guess. Typo. Okay, so yeah, that's all about the collection in a Python. So I hope I have covered most of the things here in the collection, so that you all are aware of what are the functions, what are the data types Python provides. So just a small recap again. We started with a string, which is a immutable data types. Then we have check built-in functions of a string. Then we saw how we can iterate through a string. We jump to the f string and r string. These are the again most useful features in a Python. Then we move on to a tuple, which is again a immutable data type. And then we move on to the mutable data structures, which is a list, then how we can create list, access, read, write, right? All these things we have seen here. And from the list, we have also seen, after a list, we have also seen a set and a dictionary, right? So again, different data structures you have to use as per your requirements. Set is again provides a unique value feature over the list. And then we have check with the dictionary, where we have a requirement of having a data with the q value pairs. Okay. So that's all for today. This was a very long video actually, and that very important topic. So stay tuned. Next, we will see like what are the built-in libraries in Python. And once that is covered, then you are very close to end this introduction to Python series, where we will be left with only the file handling and the exception handling. And then we will end this series, so that you are very well aware of how Python works with the basics. And after that, we will create one more new series, which will be advanced Python concepts, where we will see some more advanced concept related to the database, some frameworks and all these things. Okay. So stay tuned and hope you takes the new tutorial soon. Okay. So thank you and bye bye again.